Hello again. Lesson 277. This is quite the little doozy for anyone who is in a relationship or is a parent or a coworker. So yeah, pretty much everyone. Lesson 277. Let me not bind your son with laws I made. Okay, so let's get through this. Let's get to work. It gets hard, doesn't it? Your son is free, my father. Let me not imagine I have bound him with the laws I made to rule the body. He is not subject to any laws I made by which I try to make the body more secure. He is not changed by what is changeable. He is not slave to any laws of time. He is as you created him because he knows no law except the law of love. So do you do this? Do I do this? Did I just do this the other day? Try to impose my laws on someone else? Let's be honest. Let us not worship idols nor believe in any law idolatry would make to hide the freedom of the Son of God. He is not bound except by his beliefs. Yet what he is far beyond his faith in slavery or freedom. He is free because he is his Father's son. And he cannot be bound unless God's truth can lie and God can will that he deceive himself. So that's a little ACIM sarcasm. Obviously, God's truth cannot lie and God can will that he deceive himself, but he's not going to do that. So anyways, this is let me not bind your son with laws I made. And you might want to think about this one just for, a little self-reflection, contemplation. Are you doing this? Are you controlling other people with what you have made, the laws you have made? We'll just leave it at that. For lesson 277, Tina Jesus said, step back and witness your controlling behavior. Where are you controlling others in your life? Where do you have a desire to criticize? Witness your fear-based beliefs. Witness where you are imprisoning others with your opinionated guidance, trying to get others to be bound by the prison bars that you reside in. Where do you impose yourself on others? And step back after you have witnessed yourself and give everyone freedom. Give everyone freedom, realizing that they have their own guidance system. And they might be guided to do something a little bit different than the way you think that they should be doing things, but they are going to learn what they came here to learn. They have their own guidance system, and you can trust them to have freedom by staying in your own lane, minding your own business. Because unless your life is perfect, you are teaching others how to miscreate. Do not impose upon them the prison bars that you reside in. Stay in your own lane and give everyone freedom. Yeah, so that was kind of funny to hear Jesus say, like, is your life perfect? Do you have everything figured out? No, you friggin' do not. So stay in your own lane and quit bossing everybody around. Quit imposing the prison bars that you reside in, because you are in prison in your own fear-based beliefs. And how are you perfectly happy? Probably not. So quit trying to control other people and think that you know best. So yeah, I literally just did this maybe 2 days ago with my son. My son's 22. He is a good person, right? But I'm still his mom. And if I see him I don't really know if that's a good idea. Like, I have this need to teach him like, hey buddy, don't make the same mistakes I did. Or, you just like want to put on your parent pants and be guiding. But here's the thing. He has his own guidance system. I don't even need to open my mouth about anything, especially when it is fear-based, especially when it is critical, especially whenever like I think that like I've lived life and I've been on this planet longer, and I mean, just let you know, this is what I know. Like, we all do it. And even when I was sharing my guidance, I was feeling like, it's not really, I mean, he'll figure this out on his own. And he's like, yeah, I was already aware of this. Like, I don't need to tell him what to do. I don't need to tell anyone what to do. So give everyone as much freedom as you can handle giving them, because they have their own guidance system, just like you do. Do you not feel guided and protected? Well, your children are also guided and protected. Your significant others, how much do you try to control them? Right? Can you give more freedom? It's a really good lesson to stay in your own lane. It's a really good lesson to understand that it's your ego thought system that you're involved in that's projecting out, trying to control everyone and everything. And you might have good intentions on why you do that, right? You just want to keep them safe because, well, you know what? Because you love having them in your life. But nonetheless, you are imposing your beliefs and you are imposing your creations. And a lot of it is miscreations on your part. Because unless you're like living in a world of love, peace, and bliss, you're not the perfect teacher for anyone else. You're not. You're here to do your own thing and they're here to do their thing. And I don't know, it definitely gave me something to think about, since I just literally kind of did try to, guide somebody. And he didn't hold it against me, and I appreciate that. But yeah, it's definitely something to think about. Pathwaysoflight.org. Welcome to the reading, A Course in Miracles Workbook Lesson 277, Insights. Let me not bind your son with laws I made. Today is another day of practice. My practice today involves remembering that my brother is not limited and he is not his body. My brother is still the Christ in the mind of God. Every brother is still the Christ in the mind of God. This practice helps me remember that I too am the Christ in the mind of God. Today is a practice in remembering that dreams are really nothing and that only God's love continues to be real. The laws of the world mean nothing and are nothing. They are the laws of limitation and death, and I do not need to continue to deny God with these limiting beliefs. Today, I can practice laying them down and opening to the truth. The Holy Spirit is right here in my mind, waiting to return my mind to the truth as I allow it. Today is a day of practice. Today's practice involves taking all false ideas to the Holy Spirit to be undone. Only the truth of Christ is real. I will practice accepting this today. It seems like there must be at least a gazillion laws I have made to bind God's Son. In my split mind are all kinds of rules of behavior that others must abide by to be in my good graces. If they don't follow these rules, I will feel hurt or offended or disappointed or some other form of disapproval. It amazes me sometimes the little things I will use to justify being disturbed in some way. a small gesture, a way a word is said, some little thing not done or done that didn't fit my expectations. And that's just some of the laws I have about others' behavior. Then there's the laws I have about my own. These are at least as many laws, and the judgments are at least as harsh, if not more, that I place upon myself. Then there's the laws that I keep unconscious that tell me what I can and cannot do, that bring up feelings of guilt for no apparent reason, or manifest as illness and punishment for hidden wrongs I believe I have done. All of this is centered around one core belief, that I have really separated from my source and am now alone in a body. As long as I believe that I am a separate individual, apart from God, apart from love, I will believe I am subject to all these laws. The good news of the Course is that I could never truly separate from God. The reality of myself remains safely in the mind of love. I don't have to examine each of the gazillion rules I have made. I must simply turn each perceived problem or upset over to the Holy Spirit with a willingness to receive His kind and gentle correction. He will teach me that though they appear different, every upset is the same, the effect of one mistaken idea. The Holy Spirit is there in my mind to teach me to recognize the mistaken idea behind every concern, every fear, every thought of guilt. In that recognition, the fear and guilt will easily be laid down in gentle laughter, for it will be seen as nothing and thus forgiven. Thus I will learn that I am not bound by any laws I have made. I remain the Holy Son of God as I was created, free to extend only love without limit. Free of those limitations, I will see the face of Christ everywhere, and I will remember I am at home in heaven. pathwaysoflight.org. So it reminds me of that lesson, there are no laws but God's, right? I am under no law but God's. So I need to remind myself of that when, we make a bazillion, gazillion, trazillion laws for ourselves, for others, for the way we think people should act, for the way we think the world should be. I mean, even when you might have, you recognize a thought that, you maybe shouldn't be having, you impose all these laws upon yourself of how you should be, and you just beat yourself up, and then you want to beat other people up, and then it's just wow. So lesson 277, let me not bind your son with laws I made. When we start to recognize when and where and how we're doing this, we can step back, but you have to first figure out how to become the witness, the observer of your life, and be like, oh, yeah, I'm doing that. And then try to give everyone freedom. Your son is free, my Father. Let me not imagine I have bound him with the laws I made to rule the body. So it's usually about the body. You're telling other people what to do with their bodies and your body, and it's all about the body. That's your first clue that you're in the ego thought system. He is not subject to any laws I made, which I try to make the body more secure. So the ego wants you to believe in the body and protect the body and defend the body and tell other bodies what they should be doing. I mean, it becomes very apparent how we are so stuck in this way of thinking and being. So he is not changed by what is changeable. He is not slave to any laws of time. He is as you created him because he knows no law except the law of love. So everyone truly is still at home in heaven, in the mind of God. Everyone truly is there. You don't need to worry about anyone that you care about or not care about. You don't need to worry about anything, truly. But yet we do, don't we? Let us not worship idols, nor believe in any law idolatry would make to hide the freedom of the Son of God. We have to stop. We have to stop worrying all the time about the safety of the body and death, because truly that's what a lot of the way we guide people is, because of safety and because of avoiding death. Truly, it's very interesting when you take a little look-see and see what's going on. So let me not bind your son with laws I made. That's our work today. Our work today is to witness our controlling behavior and knock it the heck off and stop criticizing and stop imprisoning others by what we fear, our opinionated guidance. I do try to not guide, I don't know. I do try to not do this, but it is a deep, deep ingrained thing within us all. So unless your life is perfect, you really don't have any right or authority to tell anyone else what to do. So on that note, stay in your own lane today and have a good one.